Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. This is a great year. It's 2016. We have new associated producer here at the Ed Brown Show, and we have a young man. He has been all around. I mean, this young man here, Edward Reed, and guess what? You're going to really have a treat. We're going to have both of these guests for this week and next week. Okay, so hey, sit down because this is the show of shows. First of all, we have here is Larry Colbert. Now, Larry Colbert is a native, I said, of Bowie, Maryland. And I mean, we sat back, we talked, I thought in the 60s I was around and I knew everything, but Larry has done so much and achieved so much with the youngsters. One of the major items that he has done is the Glen Arden Boys Club. And I mean, every youngster in Prince George County in the United States know about the Glen Arden track team. Larry, tell us, how did you get involved with so many things? You've been here you're a native of Bowie, and you know more about Prince George County than the average person, because we were talking about the horses and all of this stuff. First of all, give us your background.
Well, first of all, Mr. Brown, I want to thank you for this opportunity to let me be here on your show to express myself and to let you know what about Old Bowie is all about and how a lot of things was originate in Bowie and why we are so excited to work with the youngsters in Bowie and other places throughout the county, Prince George's County.
Well, you know, one thing is very important, you know, with Black History Month being this month and so many things that you have achieved. I think this is an excellent time to honor you and have you coming on as an associate on the Ed Brown Show, because it shows so many things. A lot of people, they do a lot of talking, but you do the work. And with all the voting that we have to do, that people, what you need to do, if you don't get out and vote, then you're going to have problems. Coming up in April, Prince George County going to have early voting. And so what's going to happen is that if you don't vote for these local guys, boy, they're the ones that's going to do you in. So make sure you educate yourself and your kids about this early voting in April. You got two big positions coming up. Larry, now tell us a little bit about that when you were voting at a little schoolhouse that you said.
Well, back then, the opportunity wasn't our time.
Right.
And now we have to take advantage of the opportunity that we have today and make sure we get out and vote, do the things that need to do to get the people in the right spots and things of that nature. Back then, when we were coming up, especially I can speak for myself, there's a lot of things that I had to go by, things I had to pass by because the time wasn't right. Now the time is right. And working with young people today, there's an opportunity out there for them to do and be anything they want to be in life. And all we need is people like yourself and others to give them that chance. And the thing is to give a chance, and that's what we try to do with our youngsters there, is to give them a chance.
Well, tell us a little bit about the different things that you've been associated. Now, that medal, that's a world medal. Tell us a little bit about that. That's in your around your neck there.
Okay, this medal that I have around my neck, and I didn't get the opportunity to.
You want to hold it up there?
Or to run in high school or college or anything like that. And the opportunity came, and I was talking to one of the young ladies that you have here on your show. I, matter of fact, was helping set it up. And when she mentioned racehorses, man, that hit a thing in my heart because that's where I was born and raised up on the racetrack. And working on the racetrack as a youngster, a horse sat on me and squashed me between my legs, and I was about 17 years of age. So at that time, you know, when you're working on a racetrack, you don't give up. You continue to work. But make a long conversation short, that what got me involved in racetrack and running. So when I got able to.
So you're still running, right?
I'm running. I'll run probably on the 20th at the Sports and Learning Complex.
Oh,
This
no.
medal here you just asked about is the medal that I won in Miyazaki, Japan. And I got a chance to run in the World Championship, and I participated in 13 countries.
13 countries.
I ran in 13 countries. And really, because of when this horse fell on me, I got myself healthy, and I thought I'd better run to make myself feel better, and that's what I did. And I was noticed by a coach. And his name is Stan Mullen. And I ran under Stan Mullen's program and his coaching, and he has sent me all over the world. So I just want to show you this one, because this one was something special. I had never won a individual races as far as the countries I had been gone to in the 400. So this was the first 400 meter medal that I
First
won.
400 meter.
Yes, I won a lot of medals, but this was the first one.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, tell us a little more about how did you get involved in the track club, the Glenarden Track Club? Now you are on the staff of Bowie State.
Yes.
You're trying to mentor the young men into manhood.
Well, I found out, Mr. Brown, about working with young people is a jewel, because in a lot of things that I didn't have the opportunity to do, I could see that I could develop and work with young people to give them that opportunity. I didn't want them to lose the chance of what if they want something they want to achieve. But how I started this Glenarden Track Club with my son, chasing him up and down the hill, but he didn't know he was helping me. And I would put him up the hill and try to catch me before he get to the top. And at that point, we wait till everybody got home, and then we'll race up this hill. And he started getting faster and stronger, so I would back him up. I couldn't catch him anymore. But he had his little buddies that would come out and they would watch. They was the audience. So the next thing you know, I worked at a track meet in Towson State University. They call the East Coast Championship. By working there, they let me I asked, could I bring these little guys out just to see if they could run track?
And so you really got involved with the track. How long have you been associated with that club?
This club right now is going on, it's 35th year. 34th year.
34 years. Congratulations.
Yep. We started with 6 kids. Now we have well over 300 some on that program.
Now you have 300 some on that program.
Yes.
Oh, we don't have enough time to get into a lot of things that
take all day and tomorrow, next day,
right,
that
happened here in Bowie, and the outstanding job that you've done, and we like to welcome you aboard.
Sure, be glad to.
One of the associates, because you know more about Bowie than most people, and more about Prince George County, because I didn't know your background in the horses was that extent. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, as I was a youngster, that was a source of way for us to make money at that time. We always had a job. And my job was that time, as about 9 years old, I used to come down and walk the horses after they raced, cool them off.
Hey,
so that's how
we got to go. But anyway, we're going to be back next week. We're going to talk about your experience here in Bowie, Maryland. Okay, this has been Ed Brown, and hey, we got a young man coming in, Edward Reed. I mean, he's gonna give us some real good information. See you in a second. Hey, welcome back to the Ed Brown Show. Well, we're going to continue with Larry here. Larry, some of the things that you think the youngsters mentoring will really help them as far as developing their career.
Definitely, I know it will help them, because right now we begin to experience a lot of kids that we work with through this Glenarden program. No fact that today, at the Sports and Learning Complex where I worked there in the morning, there were 2 young ladies and 2 young men had came through my program, Glenarden program, are now coaching at the college level.
Is that right?
At Howard
Congratulations,
University. My son and his buddy, his name Elgin Gordon. They are all both now are coaches at Eleanor Roosevelt High School, where I coached for 15 years there. The
Oh,
head
you
coach.
did?
Yeah, I coached
You-
there for 15
Eleanor
years.
Roosevelt High School?
Yes. Now they're coaching now at Roosevelt High
They're
School.
coaching there at Eleanor at Roosevelt. Oh,
So
great.
you can see the you know what over the years how things has developed and what these young people are doing now in life. You know, is giving back what we have given to them.
Well,
We've
that's
given
what
to them.
people seem to understand, and that's why I'm getting involved with the mentoring. You know, I have another gentleman be coming on later on this year about mentoring, how important that is. You know, instead of retiring and just sitting around, is that the young people, they need the mentoring, and that's experience that we've had.
Oh, yeah.
And the things that we need to pass on to them.
That's true. Yeah, we
You know,
gotta move it on.
and that's one of the things that I really want to get into, is getting the young people involved.
in
And you've
programs.
done a terrific job with the young people, getting them involved, not only with the track, but just the environment. You moved on to Bowie State, and your influence there. I hear the coaches, they talk about. I said, "You mean to say you have Larry Colbert on board now?" And they said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, this is what we need, and really having it." Tell us some of the things that you feel that youngsters should prepare themselves for.
Well, really, Mr. Ed, youngsters have, Mr. Brown, youngsters have to prepare themselves for life, and we are the foundation of the young people to build that foundation for them, what they want to do in life, and we're there to help them to achieve their goals. And a lot of them say, like in track and field, how far can you go in life and sports? Not only in sports, in academic, athletic wise, we have doctors, lawyers, preachers, all this. Reverend Jenkins at the Reverend Jenkins Church. I started him when he was about 11 or 12 years old.
Is that right?
So look at him
Pastor
now.
Jenkins
Pastor
from,
Jenkins
from
yes.
First Baptist.
First Baptist Church. He was one of the young men I used to go get 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's go running down to Vista, where Vista Plaza is.
Congratulations,
But look at him now.
Pastor Jenkins.
Jermaine Lewis played for the Baltimore Ravens. He was a part of our Glenarden track team. Look, he's got a Super Bowl ring on his finger. He came back to the
Ray
club.
Lewis from this area.
No, Jermaine Lewis.
Jermaine Lewis.
And dropped, thousands of dollars to this Glenarden program. They got a doctor, Donald Harris. He come back and minister our youth now. Injuries and stuff like that. So a lot of success
have
stories.
donated not only the time but also funds to help continue the program.
to
And
grow.
this is what we're trying to get people to understand, is that we have to actually participate ourselves. You know what I mean? We can't just leave it up to the schools to do the or go on to school. Is that we have to participate. And with your program, like I said, that Glenarden Track Club is known throughout the world.
Yes, it is.
Not just Prince George County,
it's
not
all
just
over.
United
It's all
States.
over.
And the fact that you have taken the time, and your family have participated in this too, and really it takes family to get involved in something like this, because it takes time away. A lot of people say, "Hey, look, I don't have time. I have my kids. I got to do this," but we all have to take time
out.
And like I said, that's why I'm taking time in 2016 with this mentoring of the young people. And one of the things that I want to mention as far as young people are concerned, the Senate actually passed a bill where the young people, after they've been incarcerated, this was the day they can vote.
Right.
See,
right.
before,
Yes,
once youngster was incarcerated and he came
lose all
out, he
those
couldn't
rights.
vote. And but now they did that today. So the Senate, I had to commend the Senate for passing the bill where former inmates can vote. So all of you guys out there, you want to vote, take part, get back into society, make sure you vote. in these coming elections is so important for your future. And see, people take things lightly like that, but you're talking about, hey, 80% of the inmates that there are African American.
That's true. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So we're going to see you next week, man.
All righty.
We're going to talk about
Be glad
the
to.
young, and you're going to bring some of them youngsters here next time.
Definitely.
You know,
Okay.
we can
Be
talk
glad
about
to.
that.
Be
All
glad
right.
to.
This has been Ed Brown. Hey, we're going to have Mr. Edward Reed here from the John Maxwell team. We'll find out what that's about. See you in a second. Hey, welcome back to the Ed Brown Show, and we have Mr. Edward Reed. I mean, he was telling me all these, he was a principal and he was an assistant principal and all these different things, but he has something, John Maxwell team. Tell us, Mr. Reed, give us your background, because see, you didn't tell me all of this, you know, that your background is principal and assistant principal, and we talked about how important it is for us to mentor our young people through education and communication. And that's what Ed Brown's show is about, is communicating to the young people there is a future.
And see, and Mr. Brown, my background, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm a reformed knucklehead.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so I had someone who took a chance on me.
Okay.
Whoever was reading my application to Bowie State University, they took a chance, and they let me in that institution. And then I had a mentor, a guy named Dr. Clemmy Solomon.
Great.
And he took about 25 of us who were knuckleheads, and I'm much older now, but back then when I was a kid, I didn't realize his job was probably to make sure that we didn't fail out of school. And he taught us the importance of community service and mentorship. And so we would do mentorship programs out at Dodge Park Elementary School out in Glen Arden. We adopted some middle schools. We adopted some high schools. We used to have something called Saturday Academy. Third Saturday of the month, we got some kids from middle schools, brought them up to Bowie State, spent 3 hours with them. It was life-changing. And so while we were changing lives, our lives were being transformed. Now, I went on, worked in business, did business development, operations management, all that kind of stuff. But there was something in my heart that made me care about other people more than I cared about making money.
Right.
And so I went back to school, and I got a master's degree in counseling. It took a little pushing and prodding to get me to go, but I went and worked in the school system. And I was a school counselor. I became an assistant principal, high school assistant principal. And then about 4 years ago or so, I left school administration, and I went back to lead a school counseling department at a middle school. And then about a year ago, I joined.
Middle school is tough.
Middle school is great, man. That's the field.
That's the field.
That's the field. And so I'm a field brother.
Right.
Right? And so what happens, Mr. Brown, someone talked to me about joining the John Maxwell team. Now, I've always respected John. I didn't ever realize that he was ranked as the #1 leadership guru in the world.
Is that right?
That's right.
Congratulations.
You know, he's the #1 leadership guru in the world. But if John was sitting here talking to you, he would tell you it's not about him, but it's about a God that he serves.
Beautiful.
And so what happens is a natural fit. And so just recently, I came back from Paraguay. And so one of the things, though, what led us to go into Paraguay is that I believe when we talk about mentoring, we talk about these kids, and as you might see on the screen, about your life matters. Every life matters. Every little child, every little parent, every adult, everybody. Everybody's life matters. And we got to help them write the story where they're the main character. And so we had this campaign that's been in the works called Transform Paraguay. Now, did you know that Paraguay, according to the Gallup poll, is the world's happiest place
Is that right?
They're the happiest people.
Paraguay.
Paraguay.
All right.
All right, in South America.
No people are there, are they?
They got some people. As a matter of fact, I was with them. And we were down in Paraguay because you got some folks who have so little. And one of the pictures might show one of the roads that we were on, not with the pavement. We had some pavement, but when that van turned off the road, and we see that little dirt road, and we're going down that dirt road, and you begin to look at some of the houses and some of the conditions that some of the people have to live in. All right? And it reminded me of some of the poverty that we have in the U.S., but this is poverty to another level. And so as we're down there, my first assignment was to train a group of leaders within a church who would go out and train. So our whole Transform Paraguay, the mission of this trip is about 260 of us flew in from around the world. And there's about 7,000 members on the John Maxwell team around the world.
7,000.
There's about 7,000 of us.
No kidding.
Around the world.
How do you recruit?
Well, what it is that we look at folks who want to make a difference with others who want to make a difference at a time when we need to make a difference. And that's the deal. And so what happens on this trip, this Transformation Paraguay, we're training leaders across the 7 streams of influence in a country to go out and train other citizens of that country. Now, I had the opportunity to train some folks with the largest telecommunication company they have called Tiago, another company that does electronic distributions. But the one that was really the most precious was when I got a chance to go into this little church. Church probably about as big as this studio, and it's cement all around. And I'm in there. There's another picture over there on the screen probably where I'm inside the church and I'm just doing some training with the leaders. And so the blessing is I went miles and miles away from one continent to the next because I wanted to see what can I learn from the happiest people on the earth who have so little.
Little, right.
And what can I bring back? What can I bring back to my community? What can we do? Because you were just talking about the importance of mentoring. And see, when we talk about mentoring, mentorship changes lives.
Say that real loud again.
Mentorship
Right.
changes lives. I'm a product of the product. I am a product of the product. I sit here before you, and it's not about me, but it's about a God that I serve.
Yes.
But God likes to have a little fun. So he took an old knucklehead with a 1.98 GPA and a 740 on the SAT. I was not demonstrating my rocket scientist ability. I was demonstrating my disconnection to a school system.
Right.
Difference now. Ability and what I demonstrated. And then Bowie State gave me a chance. As time has gone on, I got a few degrees. I got a last degree is from Johns Hopkins University. It's a postmaster's in counseling and clinical supervision with a 4.0 GPA. But it's only because I'm a product of the product, and that's mentoring. So your guest that was here before, when he talked about mentoring, now I got 7 mentors right now.
Right.
And these guys are fabulous.
Right.
And they're teaching me so much. One of those mentors is the president of the John Maxwell team, a gentleman named Paul Martinelli. And I tell you what he told me, because this affects our region. Paul and I were talking along with some others, and he looked around while we were in Paraguay. He said, Ed, I'm looking at all these strong black men. And he said, you know, we need to do something for these young boys. He said, we need to talk. Now, granted, Paul, he doesn't need to go out and do anything for anyone but his heart. But what got me the most, he said, Ed, look, God was talking to me. And he put this on my heart. I said, well, Paul, if God is talking to you, I guess we better listen. So one of the things to stay tuned to is that we're going to do something with some folks to do something because we got to wipe the dust off our broken men, our young men, because it's almost time for them to mature.
Excellent.
And so when we look at this trip, now what did I learn on this trip? I learned it's not about the material possessions one might have, but it's about the spirit. I looked at kids. There's a kid. I'm watching him and his sister. One little boy had no shoes, and I watched this little boy run out in the middle of traffic. Traffic light stops. He and his sister, boy, they tag team the cars. They squirt the water on the windows, and then they got the little squeegees, and they clean it up trying to make money. And I said, the little boy need to be in school somewhere. And I think about what happens. And see, it's not about the borders that we have, because the reality is that throughout the world, we're all God's children.
Hey, say it again.
All right, well, I say it again.
Yeah.
It's not about the borders. Borders can't hold us back from loving one another.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, and in the beginning of the day, we are all God's children.
Oh, God.
And so watch this one, though. For those of us who have been blessed, we've also been given a responsibility.
Thank you.
And with that responsibility comes an accountability.
Right.
And so for one who has been blessed to be irresponsible, I would be held accountable. And so I'll be the first to tell you, it's not about those degrees that I have. It's not about I own a company. You know, I'm not here to promote my company, so I didn't even tell you what it is. All right? I'm here to promote love through service. You want to love someone, do something, take action. And so one of the things I am going to be looking how we can do, and as you might see a bunch of books, or a little picture of a bunch of books, John's latest book, Intentional Living. And intentional living is all about helping people.
That's it.
To be intentional.
Right.
With the actions. And this is how they write their story where they're the main character. If we can teach our young people and their parents how to be intentional in every aspect of their life, their lives will be transformed.
Now, that's beautiful. There's so many things there that's so important that really it doesn't cost you anything. You know, it's just time. Most of us have time, but we're not utilizing the time in the right direction. Now, the direction of mentoring, where Ed Brown Show is going through here 2016, this is the future. And that's why we have gentlemen like you and Mr. Larry from the Bowie State, because they have produced. I've had the president of Bowie State, 150, is it 150 years?
I watched that show, by the way.
Right? Oh, you did?
I did.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, 150 years, what are you doing? Sure, we all like to make money. We all like to be millionaires, but the basic thing that you need to do is mentor the young people. They need you. That's why I emphasize this Black History Month, not Black History Month, but Black History Year. We're not going to stop with the month. And plus the fact, vote, vote, vote. What you need to do, you've seen a lot of people out there, but you need to do your homework. Don't let anyone, I don't care who it is, mother, father, anybody, influence you without doing your homework on the characters that's going to determine your life and your children's life in the future. This has been Ed Brown, and we're getting wound up here, and we're going to continue this conversation on mentoring. Thanks a lot, Dad.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to come here and serve.